They came back laughing, sunburned, loud, carefree, like nothing had happened, like I didn't exist. And for a split second, I almost felt crazy. Like maybe I overreacted. Maybe I was ruining the vibe. But then my son looked up at me and asked, "Did they have fun without us?" And that question, that broke something in me all over again, because he wasn't even angry. He was just confused. And that's when I knew I did the right thing. But they had no idea yet, not a clue. Because the moment they walked into the hotel lobby, everything hit them at once. Confusion first, then frustration, then panic, because suddenly their room keys weren't working. I watched it happen from across the lobby. My sister kept tapping her key card. Over and over, red light, again, red light. And then she turned around, looking for me. That's when our eyes met, and I didn't look away. I just stood there, calm, quiet, waiting. And that's when everything changed. "Hey, what's going on with the rooms?" she asked. Like nothing had happened, like we were still on good terms. I smiled, just a little, and said, "Oh, I made some changes." She laughed, actually laughed. "Okay, what kind of changes?" And that's when I said it. "The kind where you're not staying in those rooms anymore." Silence, dead silence. You could feel it, like the air got sucked out of the room, and then it got worse. "What do you mean?" My mom jumped in, her voice already tense, already defensive, and I didn't raise mine, not even a little. "I canceled the suite," I said. "I canceled the reservations. I downgraded everything." And then I paused, just long enough. "To something more budget-friendly." You should have seen their faces, shock, anger, disbelief, like I had just betrayed them. The irony was almost funny. Almost. "You can't do that," my brother snapped. But I already did," I said. And that's when the front desk employee stepped in. Politely, calmly. "Sir, we do have your updated bookings ready." And he handed them the new room keys. Smaller rooms, far from the beach. No view, no luxury, no extras. Just the bare minimum. And suddenly, the vibe was gone. Just like that. But I wasn't finished. Not even close. Because while they were still processing all of this, I dropped the real bomb. "Oh, and one more thing." They all looked at me, waiting, uneasy. "I shortened the trip." Silence again. "What?" my sister said. "The return flights," I continued. "I moved them up." "How far up?" my mom asked, her voice shaking now. I looked her dead in the eye. "Tomorrow morning." That's when everything exploded, yelling, accusations, blame. "How could you do this? What is wrong with you? You're being selfish." Selfish. That word again. After everything, after everything. And for a moment, I almost lost it, but I didn't. Because I had one last thing to say, one last piece they didn't know. And this is where it gets interesting. I looked at all of them, one by one, and I said, "You're right." That caught them off guard. "You're right," I repeated. "I am being selfish." And then I stepped closer. But only because I finally realized something. They went quiet. Completely quiet. "I wasn't your family on this trip. I was your wallet." That one hit. Hard. You could see it. No one had a comeback. No one had an excuse. Nothing. Just silence. And then I took my son's hand, turned around, and started walking away. But that wasn't the end. Not even close. Because as we reached the elevator, the front desk manager called out to me. "Sir, just to confirm." I stopped, turned around, and that's when he said it. "Your upgraded suite is ready." And the look on their faces, priceless, confusion, shock. "Wait, what?" I smiled. For real this time. "Yeah," I said, "I'll take that." And then I looked back at them one last time. "Oh, I didn't cancel everything. I just canceled it, for you." And the doors closed, right on their faces. But here's the part I didn't see coming. That night, while me and my son were sitting on the balcony, watching the ocean, finally relaxed, finally at peace. My phone rang. It was my mom. I almost didn't answer, but something told me to pick up. And what she said next? I wasn't ready for it. She didn't yell, she didn't argue, she just said, "I'm sorry." And for a moment, I didn't know what to say. Because I had spent so long being angry, I never thought I'd hear that. But then she said something else, something that changed everything. "We didn't realize what we were doing to you." And I wish I could say that fixed everything, that it made it all better, but it didn't. Because some things you don't just forget, but for the first time, they saw me. Not my money, not what I could provide. Me. And as I hung up the phone, my son leaned against me and said, "This is way better than the boat." I smiled, looked out at the ocean, and realized something. I didn't lose a vacation. I lost an illusion. And somehow, that was worth a lot more. But what happened when we got back home? That's a whole different story.